Hello everyone, welcome to the 77th 2D animation training with Anime Studio software, which is of course known by the new name of Moho. If you are interested in making animations, I suggest you subscribe to my channel to see new videos. In this video, you will learn the following topics. Designing and rigging a fish. How to animate a fish. How to set output to create gifs. Before I start the tutorial, note that in the previous lessons, I taught all the tools of Anime Studio, so I assume that you know how to work with the tools. First, I create a new layer and rename it to fish. Now I design a fish using the Add Point tool. For now, I turn off the Auto Weld option. I mentally design the fish, but you can do it from a photo. I use a circle to create a fishtail. I use the Create Shape tool to change the lines and color of the fish's neck. I do not select any effect at the moment. Now I create a fish eye with a circle. In this way, we will make a fish eye, but I will change it a little. After creating the shapes, I select the fish using the Select Shape tool and select Shaded from the Effects section to create some shadow. Now we can see that a little shadow has been created for the fish. I draw the character's mouth with the Add Point tool. For the mouth of the fish, I choose the stroke color to be black. Stroke must be active for the mouth. You can create the character's mouth in other ways that I have already taught. Now, by selecting the Add Point tool, I want to create a different color for the bottom of the fish's body. Make sure that only the bottom joint of the shape is selected so that we can create a new shape. I deselect this point by holding the Alt button. I press Ctrl+R to see the rendered image of the fish. Now I create a wing for the fish. I adjust the location of the fish fin. I also add another line for the fish fin so I can add another color. You need to activate the Auto Weld button so that this point is connected to the line. I only select the intersection of these two fin lines to create a new shape. I change its color. Now I make a bone layer and put the fish layer inside the bone layer. I create the bones with the Add Bone tool. I will make the strength of all bones 0. Now we need to fix the way the bones are connected to each other. In this step, we must bind the points to the corresponding bone. In this way, these prominent points were tied to the fish wing bone. Here, it is better to add 2 points to the fish's body in order to create better movement. I bind all these points to the main bone of the fish. I also bind the other bones to the points. After binding all the points, I test the movement of the fish. I will change the location of this point a little. Now, in this empty layer, I will draw a rectangle and color it blue to show that the fish is in the water. I remove the effect for the water layer. I also reduce the water's opacity. Now it seems that the fish is in the water. I create a new layer and change its name to Bubble. I also change the name of this layer to Sea. I create some white circles. I cut the circle layer by pressing Ctrl+X and paste it in a new layer by pressing Ctrl+V. I repeat this for this circle as well. I change the name of the layers to Bubbles. Now I create a particle layer and place 3 bubble layers inside the particle layer. I change the particle settings. I also reduce the opacity of the particle layer. Now we need to create a copy of the particle and I will move it down. I will make it smaller. In this way, the bubbles pass both in front and behind the fish. Now I will animate the fish so we can make a GIF later. Be sure to activate the autofreeze button. I paste the keyframes of frame 1 in frame 24. I copy the keyframes of frames 12 and 24 to frames 36 and 48. For now, I change the mode of all keyframes to linear. Now I define a cycle for the movement of the fish. I change the animation length to 48 frames. Note that the lifetime of the particle layer should be exactly the same as the length of the animation. This animation is 48 frames in total. Also, in the general section, the opacity value should be 100. I delete this particle layer. I change the opacity of the bubbles between 35 and 45%. I create a new copy of this particle and place it under the fishbone layer. I'll make the size of the new particle a little smaller and change its location. In this way, the bubbles pass from the front and back of the fish. I activate the sea layer and make its color darker. Friends, it is better to change the mode of the frames to smooth to create a smoother movement for the fish. Now I create the fish movement cycle again. Now I create a GIF output. Do exactly the same settings for outputting in GIF format. Finally, specify the location and name of the GIF and click the OK button. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial till the end. Please like the video and leave a comment for me. Subscribe to see more tutorials. See you next time.